Shooby-doo. This is the law. Wally, wally, wah, wah. Shooby-doo-be-doo. It's time for the law.
All right, Brady. I'm Chris. You already know that. Now they all know it, but I'm going to ask you a question right now. If you were 43 years old,
I'm close.
would you, okay, let's say, because you're going to be 40 soon, right?
Yeah. No, like next week.
Right now. And you weigh 156 pounds probably.
Less than that. But yeah, I weigh 156.
So we'll say 155 pounds. You're walking around there, right? With a couple of bricks in your pockets.
Yeah.
Would you ever find it in yourself to say, hey, I need to get into a bare knuckle fist fight?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Not with yourself.
No, not with me. I get in fights all the time, unfortunately. That's why I try not to do this. But you guys made me drunks here on the Law Live Audio Wrestling.
That's not a real thing because you'd have a bigger rap sheet than you actually do. Okay.
I'm fucking tiny, bro. I can get away. I hop fences.
Okay.
This is a joke. This is all parody. There's no statute of limitations in Canada.
Do you think, okay, let me rephrase it then. Do you think it's a good idea for a former champion, a former fighter, a former standout wrestler, okay, who unfortunately ended up on the short end of the stick in his last, I think, like 4 fights or something like that, with his last one being in like 2016, 2019, like 2016 or 19, something like that?
Yeah.
Would you think it would be a good idea to say, hey, I'm going to step into bare knuckle fighting?
Okay, so there's a couple ways of looking at this.
Is there?
There is. One, how much is he getting paid?
That's
the first thing. There's a couple more, but that's the first most important thing. How much is he getting paid? 2,
okay.
How many fights on the contract? And is that payday the same whether he wins or loses throughout? Obviously, the fight purse winning the fight match, you're going to get a bonus. But I mean, like, otherwise, let's say it's $100,000 to fight. Is he going to get that for all 3 fights if there's 3 fights in the contract? Third thing I would ask, how did he lose his past 4 fights?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. I'm talking about King Mo.
Muhammed,
ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with who King Mo is a guy who has been around since, like, oh my God, 2009, I want to say, 2008, 2009, like even before that, like M1 Global. Remember M1 Global? Yeah. Like he fought that. I think he fought like Mark
Kerr. For that Russian company too, eh? He did fight M1 Global.
He fought for
Bellator shit.
Knocked out Mark Kerr. Okay. And then went to Strikeforce, and had great success in Strikeforce.
He was fantastic.
Then ended up in Bellator instead of the UFC. Right? Had really good success in Bellator, but never ever ended up in the UFC. Went from there, went to Risen after that, I think, and ended up in a
I thought it was
Risen, whatever, right? He ended up as a stand-in because Vanderlei Silva, I think, had gotten injured or something like that against a fight with Krokop, and Krokop ended up knocking him out.
Vanderlei just didn't want to show up because he heard Charlie Crazy Horse Bennett was in the fucking arena.
Listen, Bennett's the best. I don't care what
the fucking best. We'll do a segment next week on. That's it. Segment next time on
Absolutely.
Charlie Crazy Horse. We have to. That's the fucking man right there, bro.
100%. So King Mo lost his last 4 fights that he was out there. Bellator, Risen, Bellator, and Bellator. He lost against Ryan Bader, Liam McGeary, Yuri Prochazka. Yeah. He lost to Yuri Prochazka in Risen.
Right?
And then lost to Andrew Capel in Bellator as well. He's had a bit of a run done a couple of things in professional wrestling. You know what I mean? He's Impact and also in MLW. I think he showed up there.
No, did he?
I believe so. And if I'm not mistaken, because he's a guy from American Top Team, when Dan Lambert, right, was doing that stuff in AEW, and he had a couple of fighters out there with him. I think, didn't he have like Paige Van Zant was out there? If I'm not mistaken.
Jorge Masvidal.
Jorge was out there, and I think King Mo might have been out there as well.
You could be
right? We're trying to remember all of this stuff at the same time. But here's a guy who's been up and down the mixed martial arts road, the professional wrestling road. And now he's going to get into bare knuckle fighting with BKFC in a fight that was supposed to happen already and is going to happen finally, I guess. But my question is, like, is 43 the age you want to start bare knuckle fighting at?
I don't think it fucking matters. I think the only thing I'm worried about with King Mo is his chin. So I just don't, you'll know after this first fight. If he goes in there and he can get through, let's say it's a decision, or if it's even goes a couple rounds, despite he winning or losing, if he can take a couple hits, then you're going to be like, oh, all right, this actually seems like a good fit. Although King Mo, not professional, but amateur wrestling was one of his big things.
1000%.
So
like, he's so decorated at wrestling, and this is the thing.
yeah,
And he used it well in his MMA career. He used it. I mean, you even use it for your training and even in professional wrestling. But the one place, where you can't use it, Brady,
bare knuckle fucking fighting.
ah!
I know. Okay, this is why the very first thing I said is, what is he getting paid? Because this is what this is. This is just money. You got to pay the fucking bills somehow. And at 43 years old, and he hasn't been relevant in a little bit, this makes him relevant again. You're also brushing shoulders with a guy like Conor McGregor. Now, if you're in the BKFC, which is putting you in a better position to either convince that cokehead to give you some money and do a project with him,
Okay.
sign him to his new label, shouts out fucking whatever Connor's
Allegedly.
new rapper label is. He has a rap label based out of Ireland now, and he's trying to sign all Bone Thugs and Harmony and stuff like that.
Onyx.
It would be awesome. That's a perfect fit for Conor McGregor. Does it have Onyx sticky fingers in there? Little sticky fingers.
Just saying.
That's what we call Ricochet. Anyway, so yeah, I do know what you mean. King Mo, I think, is going to be a good draw for BKFC. I think that, the more the merrier there. I've said it before. I would love to see even Conor fight and a bare knuckle fight. I think at this point, he's going to get to the point where he's going to be 43 before he fights again. It ain't going to be Chandler. And if it is Chandler, they're both going to be senior citizens with walkers going into a BKFC fucking fight.
Well, I don't know about
I
you
love
guys
bare
out there, and I would love nothing more to find out what y'all think of bare knuckle in the first place. Let's start that conversation.
It's not power slap. I've seen a lot of people compare it to power slap. They're like, it's just so stupid. Why would you do this? And it's like, no, one's a competition. The other one's fucking dumb.
Bro, if you've ever watched women's MMA, try watching women's bare knuckle fighting. Holy crap, these girls get after one another.
Thanks for watching that video. If you like that video and you want to see some other stuff, check out our catalog here on YouTube, or you can find us on any podcast provider anywhere in the world.
Yep.
Sportcards.com, the best in Canada.
NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB, Pokemon, UFC, WWE.
Totalsportcards.com,
The hobby's best friends, that's
Totalsportcards.com.
RockSolidFanClub.ca gives you full access to Canada's leader in professional wrestling, featuring legends like Mick Foley, modern megastars such as Cody Deaner, and future sensations like Tyler Turva. RockSolidFanClub.ca offers exclusive series, podcasts, live streams, specials, and full events, all for less than $9 a month. Sign up today at RockSolidFanClub.ca, where real fans get it.